UFC Fight Night at the Apex. We got Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos from Brazil versus Magny from USA. Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos, 25 9 and 1, 38 years old, 5'11 with a 73-inch reach. He has a lot disadvantage in reach with a 7-inch reach disadvantage, and he's 5'11 compared to Magny 6'3". But don't let that fool you. Elizeu dos Santos is a dangerous explosive striker. He has a UFC record of 11-5 and 1. He did tie Rinat Fakhanov, and that was Rinat's only draw. He has a win over Abubakar Nurmagomedov, Khabib's cousin. Abubakar is nice, but he is one of the Khabib cousins who'll be losing. Like, I think the record's like 193-6 or some crazy shit. And like him and like one of the other cousins be losing low key, even though they're still nice. But like they'd be losing a couple. They like Abubakar and one of the other cousins make up like almost all the Nurmagomedov's loss. Even though he's still nice though. Don't get me wrong. He had beef with cousin. He can fight. He's like the older cousin. He's just the older cousin. Like he's not as nice as the younger cousins, but he can still bang it out and talk that shit. He's the older cousin. But a win over Abubakar is very impressive. And he beat Benoit Saint Denis, who's also very nice. So Benoit Saint Denis was supposed to be like a top tier fighter. I forget who shut him up, but someone just knocked him out. That was an underdog against him. I don't know, but someone shut him up recently. And he wasn't talking shit, but like he was just riding the rankings. He got shut down. And Benoit Saint Denis is not though. He's still nice though. Um, he got KO'd by Chidi in round two in his last fight. So that's a little shaky. That's a little wonder. Leaves you a little wondering. And Chidi got smoked in his last fight, but that was by a younger Jake Matthews who submitted him. It was a different type of fight. Chidi needs fights like someone he can bang it out with. They shouldn't have Chidi fighting a wrestler. But anyway, it's for Elizeu dos Santos. And Elizeu dos Santos just had a round two knockout over Zach Scrogan. But that doesn't count. Zach Scrogan is a complete scrub who was 0-1 in the UFC with a loss to Dos Santos. And yeah, he knocked out him, but Zach Scrogan isn't UFC level competition. So that's like fighting like let's put a random bum in there, and like obviously a UFC fighter who is explosive is gonna knock him out. It's nothing. So that don't really count. But his last real finish win versus real UFC competition was back in 2018 when he beat Luigi Bendermini. I don't know who that is for real, but he also knocked out Sean Strickland. So and when he be throwing shit, you people fight like he has explosive power. Even though he hasn't knocked out anyone since 2018, he's live to knock someone out. So he has power and he can throw. And because he's a little older, but he still got the power, explosiveness, and everything. Like he can knock you out. Don't let that fool you. On the other hand, we got Magny. He's 29 and 14, 37 years old, 6'3", with an 80-inch reach. He got the reach and the height advantage, and his UFC record is 21 and 10. He's one of the top all-time UFC winners. Like for most wins in the UFC, I know he's up there. I don't know if he's won, but I think he's top five. He might be one for real. I don't know. I know he's up there though with the most wins. And he just recently had that comeback win over Mike Mallet. And like if you look at his recent losses, he lost to Carlos Paredes. Um, he lost to Michael Morales. He lost to Ian Gary. And that fight leading up to it, he had mad beef with Ian Gary and he fucked up his leg. And he went on his shield. He only had one leg for real. He couldn't really do nothing. He just got a decision by Ian Gary. Then he lost to Shavkat. It's like they're just feeding him to straight killers, Neil Magny. They're literally like, oh, you beat Michael Mallet? All right, we're just going to beat you to every top prospect. Let's see every top prospect. And it's like, he should not be fighting. Like, why are they having Neil Magny fight like he's like a championship level fighter for real? That's how they having him fight. And this right here is a good matchup for him. He can get this is like his range. He should be fighting someone his own age, not the top level fighters. Even though they have him, his role in the UFC is a I don't know what they call it. Like when it's like to see if you're good enough to go to that next level. That's what they put him as. Like the stopper. Like I'm not thinking of the word right now, but if you pass Neil Magny, then you really up there. You feel me? Then you a top prospect. If you're a young prospect, you gotta beat Neil Magny to really establish yourself. They're like a pussy towards that next level. And right here though, I see this fight going into round two. Fight to start round two is the pick. Dos Santos is low-key more allowed to knock out Magny than Magny is him. Magny's more of a reachier, lengthier, uses length, technical fighter. Dos Santos is more explosive, Brazilian, you know how they get down, throwing wild shit. So, right here, if I had to pick a side, I guess Neil Magny low-key has the advantage just because of his reach and height. Like, if he can control the range and everything, he can do it. But so Santos is low-key stronger and more explosive. So he's gonna try to bull rush his way in there and throw some shit. But I don't know. This fight is really, to me, it's like a coin flip, literally a coin flip. But I think the fight low key should go to distance because they're old. I wrote fight to start round two. Fight to start round two. But for real, you can really push it. Fight to go to distance. I don't think they're gonna finish. I don't know though. I want to do fight to start round two, just because Dos Santos is low key live for a knockout, even though he hasn't knocked out anyone in a minute. Like the way he be fighting is just dangerous, yo. But Neil Magny can low key survive it. Fight to go a distance is low key pressing it. Elizeu Dos Santos versus Neil Magny. Fight to go to distance. If you really want to boom, boom, boom with it, but if you just want to be cool, and just chill out with it, um, you can choose fight to start round two. But Elizeu Dos Santos versus Neil Magny. Fight to go to distance. Two UFC veterans, two older UFC veterans, Elizeu Dos Santos. Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos versus Neil Magny, fight to go to distance.